Fantasy Consortium's Wars of the Old World.
Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in lovely Lund, Sweden. For this episode of Wars of the Old World, we are going to be playing 2,000 points of what we are calling the Alliance of Man versus 2,000 points of the Skaven. Now, the idea with this scenario is something like this. The Skaven have surfaced somewhere in the borderlands between Brettonia and the Empire, and the Brettonians have sent forces from Paravon to meet up with forces from Marienburg in order to face down their hated rat enemies. So 2,000 points. This will be pretty exciting to see how this plays out with a mixed army. And I should just mention, for the first time now, I'm bringing a screaming bell for the Skaven army. I've never used it before, so I'm sure I will make quite a few mistakes with that, but hopefully I can get more things correct than I get wrong. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the armies and then take a look at the board. Here's our first army, 2,000 points of the Alliance of Man, the joint army of Brettonia and Empire. Leading our army now on the left is our General of the Empire, and he is riding an Imperial Pegasus. He has a pistol, and he has a 3+ armor save, 6+ ward for the Talisman of Protection. Next to him in the red now, we have our Battle Wizard Lord, a level 4 with the Lore of Life, and he has the Talisman of Preservation for a 6+, 4+ save, and we rolled for the spells Throne of Vines, Flesh to Stone, the Dwellers Below, and the signature spell Earthblood. And to the right of him we have two more Battle Wizards on war horses. The first one has the Lore of Light, and that is Shem's Burning Gaze and Speed of Light. The second one has the Lore of Heavens, Chain Lightning, Harmonic Convergence. So two Battle Wizards, level 2 each. Continuing on with the Empire now. For our core, we've got 16 Inner Circle Knights. They are all decked out with lance and shield, full plate armor, barding, so they have an amazing 1+ save. Next to them, we have 20 Halberders with light armor, and then we finish it off with 2 War Machines. For our special, we have got a Great Cannon, and for our rare, we've got a Hellblaster Volley Cannon. And to wrap it up, we can go to Brettonia. To the right in the front here, we have our Paladin. This will be our Army Battle Standard Bearer. And he's got an amazing 3+ save. And next to him now, we also have 2 Brettonian Lords. The one on the left is armed with the Morning Star, and the one in the center there is armed with a lance. And behind them, we have a total of 30 Brettonian bowmen, and we will have them put into 3 units of 10. So once again, there you have it, our 2,000 points of the Alliance of Man, our Empire and Brettonia army. And for our second army now, we have 2,000 points of the Skaven. Leading our Skaven now, we have on top of our Screaming Bell, we have a Grey Seer who is a level 4, and we have the spells Bless with Filth, Pestilent Breath, Cloud of Corruption, and Curse of the Horned Rat. He is also armed with a Dispel Scroll, and he has the Talisman of Preservation for a 4+ save. Next to that big block of rats, we have our Chieftain, and he will be our Battle Standard Bearer for this game. And he has the Talisman of Endurance for a 5+ ward save. For core now, we've got a huge block of 55 clan rats with spears and shield. They will be pushing the Screaming Bell. And to the left, we've got a 70-unit block of Skaven slaves with hand weapon and shield. For our special over here, we have got 8 rat ogres with 2 handlers. One of them has a whip. And for our rare choices here, we're having a little bit of fun, a little bit of fluff, kind of breaking some rules, but we have 2 Warp Lightning Cannons, and they are joined by 2 Doomwheels. And finally, for the unclassified, we have got 30 Giant Rats, and they have 2 Pack Masters who are following them up there in the back. So there you go, once again, that is 2,000 points of the Skaven. Alright, and here's the 4 by 6 table we are playing on today with a beautiful game mat from gamemat.eu, and we are set up for the scenario Dawn Attack. Now if you're not familiar, what we do is we go and we roll out for each unit. If you get a 1, you're on the left flank over here. A 2, you place your units on the right flank over there, and 3, 4, 5, 6 in the center. So let's check out the Empire Army first. So here's the Empire Army. On our left flank, we have our general over here, and we also have one of our mages, and we have one of the Brettonian lords. In the center here, we have a block of archers and another block of archers. We have our halberders, and we have our Hellblaster cannon right there. In addition to that, we also have another one of our mages, and we have one of our lords. And over here on the right flank now, we have got our big block right here of Inner Circle Knights. And inside of that, we have our mage, and we also have our BSB in the front left. And over here, another block of archers, and we have our great cannon there. So that will be pretty heavy over here to the right side. Hopefully we'll be able to get our general back over to join their army. Let's go ahead and check out the Skaven over here. Alright, Skaven right here. In the center, we've got our big block of 55 clan rats with our Grey Seer. And over here, we've got our 70 slaves with our BSB. And our 30 giant rats here. We've got a cannon right there. To finish us over here on this side, we've got a cannon and a Doomwheel on that flank. And finally, over here, we have got one more Doomwheel and our unit of giant rats. So they're fairly spread out across the board. They're going to be a pretty powerful force with Doomwheels on each flank. Well, let's go ahead now and roll off to see who gets the first turn. Skaven with the black dice and Empire playing with the yellow. And it will be Empire first turn. Empire turn 1, charges to declare. Alright, Empire turn, we've got no charges to declare, but we've got a bunch of movements we're going to need to make here. Alright, the first thing we're going to need to do is take our general and we'll make his 20-inch flying march and move him back behind the lines where we can now use his leadership. And we'll use our full march here to move our mage right there along with our other lord. So we'll bring them all right here back behind the front lines. And I think we can leave our archers here. They are within range, so they are no problem there. They are within range of shooting. So we'll leave those guys there. Let's go ahead and just shift up our these guys a little bit, bring them up into a little further up. And we'll go ahead and move our archers a bit further so we get out of the range of our cannon there as well. And just a little 6-inch move here. We'll just wheel them a little bit, bring them right up here. There we go, there's our final position, and then we still have a nice line of sight here from the cannon over here onto one of those units. Alright, let's go ahead and do magic phase. Alright, wins of magic, 2d6. Oh, and not very good. Channel for the Skaven? Yes, they have a channel. We've got 3 channels for the Empire. No, so we are looking at a 4 to a 4. Okay, let's go ahead and start out with our mage. We're going to cast Throne of Vines on an 8. Let's throw 2 dice at it, level 4. There we got it with a 14. Skaven are going to throw... boy, they'll throw all 4 dice at it for a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. So they just dispelled it. Alright, and we've only got 2 dice left, and everything else seems to be out of range. We just have augment spells as well. And we're not going to be in any combat in this round, so we will go ahead and end the magic phase there. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Let's start over here with these archers, and we will take 10 shots over here onto these. Alright, 10 shots. We have moved in long range, so we're hitting on 6s. And there are 2 hits, and we now need to randomize them. On a 1 to 4, they're on the rats. This one's on the rat and 1 on the Packmaster. And 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, it's on the guy with the staff. 4, 5, 6 on the other guy. So we have 1 on the guy with the whip. Alright, so Packmaster on a 4, no. And over here we're on a 5, yes. Alright, so that's going to drop one of these guys over here down to 2 wounds. There you go. Alright, next let's go over here and let's have each of these units of archers fire over here. We'll have them go right onto the, let's have them go onto the Skaven slaves. So here we go, this first one right here, shooting over here. And we are long range, and we are going to be hitting then on 5s. And wounding on 4s. And there are 2 wounds. We got 6+ save for the shield, so no. 2 of those guys will be taken. Alright, let's do the same thing here from those guys right here. We're going to be shooting out at them as well. 10 shots. Here we go once again. Hitting on 6s, or excuse me, 5s. There's 2 hits, wounding out 4s. And there's 1 wound. We've got a 6+ save for the shield. No. So 3 guys total. Alright, and for our last shooting, let's run over here and let's take our cannon here, our great cannon, and we will shoot straight out here at this warp lightning cannon. It is within line of sight. Let's put a marker 10 inches from the back. Alright, 10 inches from the back. Here we go. First roll, and we will bounce 10, hitting it directly, and it will bounce 6 inches. So that'll be a direct hit. Wounding on a 2. Yes, and for D6 wounds, 1 wound. So that will drop the cannon down to 3 wounds total. Alright, that's the end of the shooting phase. And we have nothing that is in close combat, so that will be the end of Empire turn 1. Let's move on to Skaven turn 1. Alright, charges to declare. These guys are outside of possible charge range here, so they don't need to charge because of Frenzy. Nothing else is within charge range, so we have no charges. But that brings us, of course, to some compulsory moves for our Doomwheel. So this Doomwheel in here and this Doomwheel there. Let's start with this Doomwheel right here. Alright, let's start by just pivoting it ever so slightly so we are facing down that unit of knights. And let's go ahead and roll off our 3d6 random movement for a total of 9 inches. Alright, let's run over here now to our next Doomwheel. This one right over here on the side of this. Alright, we don't want to hit any of this terrain, so let's shoot it over just in this direction, the general direction of these guys, and see if we can get somewhere out here in this field area. Ever so slight wheel like this, and let's go ahead and roll our 3d6 random movement. That's a total of 10 inches. Final position there. Let's go ahead now and do some remaining moves. We're going to move these blocks further up the field into combat. Alright, let's go ahead and just march all 3 of these units their full march range and bring them up the field. And final positions there, you can see I actually left those slaves a little bit further back so to leave room for that Doomwheel right there. And last of all, let's run back over here and we will go ahead and move our rat ogres up their full march as well. And there's their final position. End of the movement phase. Let's go ahead and roll for the Winds of Magic. Here we go. Winds of Magic. Well, we have a terrible roll again. Do we have a channel for the Skaven? No, we do not. And we have 3 channels for the Empire. No, nothing there. So it is a 3 to a 2. Alright, because we got such few dice here, we're going to go ahead and roll off for our Screaming Bell. Since this is the first turn, we only get 1 die for it. So let's roll and see what we get. A 5. So 5 is emboldened, which means that all friendly Skaven within 24 inch of the bell can re-roll failed leadership tests till the end of the current player turn. That's probably not going to do us so much good here, but it was fun to give it a try anyway. Next turn we get to roll more than 1 die if we do. Alright, we only have 2 dice left and we're not really within range of anything, so let's go ahead and cast Bless with Filth. We'll throw 2 dice at it. We need a 7 plus. There is a 9, 13, and they will go ahead and throw that at it for a 7, 11, so it goes off. Basically, this will give everybody in this unit right here poison attacks until the end of the Empire next time. So that's the end of another magic phase, quite a sad magic phase. Let's go ahead and move on to our shooting. We've got this guy up here, and we've also got this other guy over here who can take shots. Let's go ahead and have this guy lead us off, and he's going to shoot over here at this unit. Alright, shooting all the way over from that corner. Let's go 10 inches from the back of this base. Puts our marker right about there. First artillery die for overshooting. Puts the marker right in front here, and now for the second one to see the bounce and the strength. So bouncing 4, strength 4. And if we run over here now, we'll see that 4 inches will put us right through the first 2 of our ranks. And 4 inches back then, it explodes in a burst of energy, which will hit 6 total knights with the template. All right, the cannonball is going to actually come right through our paladin here, our BSB, and so technically we need to take a lookout, sir, for him, because the cannonball actually has a cannonball-sized template, and it says you take a lookout, sir, whenever there's a template. So we need to roll here on a 1, he fails, 2 to 6, he's pushed aside. So someone else will take that for us. All right, this is huge. We ignore armor saves, which is huge for our inner circle knights. So we're going to have 7 hits now, wounding on 3s. So that is going to be a massive 5 wounds. That template causes a lot of damage. So we're going to have to remove 5 guys from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Panic test now on a leadership of 8. And we got it with a 4. So a super devastating attack there. You can see how powerful it is with the ignoring armor saves. Let's go ahead now and take this guy 48 inches. Let's measure it out and see if we can actually hit this unit again. And here we are now. We are within 48 inches, so that will be within range. Let's go ahead and drop it from here. Let's go 10 inches from the back, somewhere right around here. And let's see what we get here. It's going to bounce 2 inches, or 2 inches overshoot and bounce 10 inches. So it's going to go 2 inches overshoot and 10 inches, which means it will come through 1, 2, all 3 of these. All right, so that's going to bring our template here 2 inches past. So that's not going to hit anybody with the template, but we're still going to go through 3 ranks. And once again, we need to look out, sir, on our mage, and he's going to get that. So we're going to have 3 strength, 10 hits against 3 knights. Wounding on 2s, no armor saves, and there's 2 more guys. We already took a panic test for this round, so we don't need to do that again. Alright, that unit is really getting whittled down now. The last thing we need to do in the shooting phase is to roll to see if we are going to be shooting bolts of lightning from our zap from the Doomwheel. We don't want to shoot our own unit, so we're going to roll against a leadership of 7. And that fails, so that one is going to fire into the rat ogres. Let's run over here and test for this Doomwheel. Skaven slaves, once again, 7, and that fails as well, so 3 bolts of lightning into that. Alright, the strength of this first one is going to be strength 6. 3 bolts on 3s. Here we go. So 2 more of those guys. And let's run over here to this. Alright, we got strength 4. And allocating the hits now. Wow, 2 of them are going to be in the pack. Starting with the rat ogre here, wounding on a 4, and we got it. D6 wounds 3, so that will be enough to get rid of that guy right there. And this is potentially huge now. We got the 2 pack masters. Let's go 1 on each. We're going to need 3s to wound. Yes, D6 wounds. Well, it doesn't matter. He's gone. Next one, 3 to wound. Yes, and D6 as well. 1 wound. He is gone. Now that was huge, because what that means now is both Packmasters have been killed by their own Doomwheel, which means now these guys are going to have to test for stupidity in their next turn. Well, that brings us to the end of the shooting phase, and we have no combat right now, so that brings us to the end of Skaven turn 1. Let's run over here now and flip us over to game turn 2. And we have the Empire to start us off. Charges to declare. All right, Empire turn here. I'm really wondering what I should be doing now. It seems like I have a couple different options. What I'm leaning towards is trying to charge with these guys over into this block. If I fail those charges, that leaves me open to at least shoot on that block for 1 more turn with this stuff. And that would get me closer enough with my mage. We'd be able to cast some good spells over there. The question is whether or not I want to charge. And, oh boy, I gotta measure a few things out. Alright, I measured things out, and it doesn't look like those are gonna be charges that are gonna be possible. So I'm gonna do a bit of the weenie thing here, and I'm actually just gonna back this guy up a little bit here. I'm going to take these guys and back them up a little bit. Leave the archers where they are so they can still fire without any penalty. Let's take our general and let's swing him over here and get him closer to that block. And we're just going to go ahead and do some magic and some shooting, and hopefully that will do the job for us. All right, winds of magic. Here we go. Let's get something big. No, we are just rolling terribly. Any channels there? No channel for the Skaven? No. Do we want to take any Warp Zone tokens? I don't think so. So we'll go here, a 5 to a 3. Alright, let's do it. Dwellers below. We're going to do the big version, 24 inches. Casting value of 21 over onto this unit right here. Let's throw all 5 dice at it. And did we get it? 11, 13, 16, 19, 23. So we just got it. All right, here's the question. Skaven has 3 dice to throw at it. we're going to go ahead and use a Dispel Scroll on that. So he has his one Dispel Scroll. He's going to use that now, and that will be dispelled. Alright, that was it. We had a really low magic phase there, so that's all we can do this turn. Let's go ahead and head over to shooting. And let's start off over here with this unit of archers. We're going to have them shoot over here at this unit of rat. 10 shots now, hitting on 4s. Wounding now on 5s. For 1 wound, I'll drop this guy down to 2 wounds in the back. Alright, let's jump over here now to our next unit of shooting. And let's go ahead and start out with these guys. We'll have all 10 of them shoot into that unit. Alright, let's put 10 shots from here into all the clan rats. We're going to be hitting now on 4s. Excellent roll. Now we're going to be wounding on 4s. And the Skaven have 6 saves now on a 5+. So that will be 4 guys that will be killed off the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead now and have this other unit do the same thing. 10 shots into the Skaven clan rats. Here we go again. 4s and 4s. Not as good. Wounding on 4s. And still 4 of them. We've got 4 saves on a 5-6. So 2 more guys. Alright, this time let's go ahead and take the Hellblaster volley cannon and shoot right into the bell itself. 3 artillery dice for the number of shots. Here we go. 2, 10, and 12. Randomizing total. Now. On a 1 to 5 we hit the bell. On a 6 we hit the Grey Seer. So that will be 2 hits on the Grey Seer and 10 on the bell itself. Grey Seer now we're going to be hitting on 3s. Double 1s. Alright, we got 6 wounds on the bell, and we need to show 5s here on 10 hits. No, not a single one. So a totally worthless shooting for the Empire. Alright, that's the end of the shooting phase. All we have left over is a pistol over here, but he's well out of range there. That brings us to the end of the shooting phase for the Empire, and we have no combat yet. So that is the end of Empire turn 2. Let's go on to Skaven turn 2. Alright, first things first, before we even declare charges, we need to test for stupidity over here since they lost both of their pack masters. Leadership of 5. And look at that, they actually make it. Well, with that good news, we might as well go ahead and declare a charge with these guys against the archers. And the archers will do a stand and shoot. 10 shots now, I'll be hitting on 5s because of the stand and shoot. There we got a total of 2. And wounding now on 5s. So there's 1 wound that will drop them down to 1 wound in the back. We'll roll that off after we declare any other charges. After measuring it out, we realized that those guys are just too far away to make any of these charges. So let's go ahead and roll off this one before we go to our Doomwheels. And no problem with a 10. And that's how it looks for the successful charge. Alright, let's go ahead and roll for our Doomwheels. We are going to go ahead and run into these guys here, these knights. 3d6, here we go. Ooh, a whole 11, 14 inches. Now I know this thing causes terror, and the way I've been playing this so far is that if it actually gets into combat, then we go backwards and roll a terror test. But I'm going to say that this is something like a charge here, so I'm going to roll a terror test anyway here. And they got it, no problem. Alright, and let's go ahead and roll over here now, and we'll take our other Doomwheel here. Let's go ahead and point it at the direction of these archers. Alright, once again, the way I'm playing this is these guys are outside of the possible range, so we're not going to take a terror test now. So let's just go ahead and roll our 3d6. Still pretty decent, 9, 12 inches, so let's slide that up 12 inches. Alright, remaining moves, let's go ahead and just try and slide these guys over in this direction a little bit. Alright, and there's a shot of how it looks now after the Skaven movement phase. Let's go ahead and go to the magic phase. Alright, Winds of Magic, let's roll something big this time for a change. And there we got it. Do we have any channels? Yes! Channel there. And let's see here. Channels here. 1 channel for the Empire, actually. Ooh, I rolled 1 too many dice there. Let's try that again. No channels for the Empire. So here we go. We've got a total of 10 to 6. Alright, the first thing I want to do is roll 3 dice for our Screaming Bell. Let's let this thing toll and see what happens. That's a 9. Alright, a 9 is going to be the Scorch spell. We're going to get that spell cast now. We'll send the Scorch right over here, and we will put the template on top of our Halberdier unit. And it looks like they are actually going to hit all 20 of them. So we've got 20 Halberdiers, strength 4 hits. Here we go now, wounding on 3s. Alright, too powerful for armor saves. So that's a total of 14 guys. Nicely done there. Basically, we're going to take all these guys off except for the front rank and one more guy. We're going to need to take a panic test there for sure. Alright, within range of our general, and we got it, no problem. So a pretty powerful bell there. That's going to leave them pretty devastated. Alright, let's go ahead and continue on with our magic phase. 7 dice left. Let's go ahead and do Pestilent Breath. Do I dare throw 1 die at it? 1 or 2, I lose concentration. Let's go ahead and throw 2 at it. That will be a 7 plus our 4, 11. And the Empire knows what is coming, so they're going to go ahead and let that go. So the way this works now is we will go ahead and set the template now on the base of that clan rat in that unit and stretch this thing out. We are going to end up hitting a total of 6, maybe even 7. No, we'll say 7 archers. Alright, here we go on a 5 plus, no armor saves allowed. And we've got 1 guy. So let's take 1 guy off the corner here. Not enough for a panic test. And now for our last spell, we're going to do Curse of the Horned Rat, the dreaded 13th. Shoot it over here onto this unit here. We need to show a 25. Let's throw 5 dice at it, see what happens. So that's not enough, a total of 20, so we don't even need to roll our dice. It would have been dispelled anyway. So there we go. That is the end of the magic phase. Let's run over now to the shooting. All right, let's come here over to this cannon, and let's go ahead and take a shot with that cannon right over onto this unit. We do have a line of sight. Let's go 10 inches from the back of this guy, putting us right around. All right, 10 inches. We're overshooting by misfire. All right, that means we need to roll on the misfire chart here, and that's a 3. Energy overload. What does this mean? Roll the scatter dice, turn the cannon to face the direction rolled, resolve a shot at maximum strength 10. It emanates from the barrel and travels along the ground in a straight line 46 before terminating in a large round template. Alright, let's run over here and do our scatter die, and that's going to face it off in that direction so nothing happens there. Alright, let's move over to our second one over here up on our perch there, and we have a good line of sight on everything. Let's go ahead and shoot from him down here onto our general. We'll go 10 inches from the base here. So that puts us somewhere around here. Let's see how much we overshoot by. 8 inches, and we are going to bounce 8 inches. So 8 inches will have us hit directly, and we will bounce through here. All right, general strength 8. We are going to be wounding now on a 2. There is a wound. We have a 6 plus ward. No, so this is going to be D6 wounds, 1 wound and only. Most fortunate for the general, down to 2 wounds only. All right, let's go ahead and continue with our shooting, and let's run over here to this Doomwheel. Let's try to restrain from shooting our lightning bolts into them. Needing to show a 7 here. Definitely not that. So 3 lightning bolts into them. Let's run over here to this one, and yeah, we are indeed closer to the rat ogre, so let's go ahead and restrain, and we did there, so we are fine. So we just need to roll for our 3 lightning bolts here. Strength of 8. Well, that's going to be most certainly a kill on 2s. Yeah, so 3 more of these guys will come off the back. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, if we run over to our combat here, the only combat we have going on is this one right here. The Rat Ogres have the higher initiative, and they're going to be coming on with a massive amount of attacks because of their frenzy. So we're just going to go ahead and pull these guys out and just say the Rat Ogres were able to kill them. And let's go ahead and have these guys overrun into the cannon. So let's roll 2d6 for that to see how far they overrun. They're going to go 10 inches. Let's measure that out and see if they can make it. And no, cannon. They were just 1 inch short. 10 inches brings them right there, but they're going to be right in front of that cannon. Definitely within charge range next turn. That brings us to the end of the combat phase and the end of Skaven turn 2. Let's run over here and flip us over to game turn 3. Empire. Alright, Empire, this is our turn to shine. Let's do it and declare some charges First, let's have this unit charge onto there, and they will hold. Second, let's have this tiny unit of halberders also charge there, and once again they will hold. And last, let's do it. Let's send our general also into that unit, and they will hold. All right, we got barding, so -1 movement here. So we need to show, let's see, we need a 16 plus our 7, so we need to show a 9 on Swift Strike. No, they're gonna shuffle ahead 3. All right, so here we go, turning towards the enemy and moving ahead a couple inches. That puts them in a horrible position for that Doomwheel. Not a good roll. Well, let's see if these other two have any better luck. Halberders need to show an 8. No, they're going to go ahead 3 as well. So 2 inches right here, and then they will wheel an inch like so. Okay, our last hope, and I'm kind of hoping he doesn't actually get in because he's going to be fighting alone. With Swift Stride 20, he does make it in, so he's going to fly right over the tops of these guys, and we will bring him right here in the center, maximizing with that bell. So there you have it, just a pathetic showing by the Empire. So we have our general who's going to be taking on that whole block all by himself because none of his other units could make it in. Okay, no remaining moves. Let's go ahead and move to the magic phase. Winds of magic. Let's hope for something strong here. And that's a little bit better. An 8. Do we have any channels? Nothing there for the Skaven. No. So we were talking an 8 to a 5. Okay, let's start out with our Throne of Vines here. 8 plus. Let's see if we can get that with 2 dice. We get it with a 9. The Skaven will let that one go. And we should be sure to remember the lore attribute and give us a wound back to our general. So he's up to full wounds now. Alright, next thing, let's go ahead and cast Chain Lightning from this guy. We're going to go ahead and cast it over onto that unit right there. 15 plus. There's no reason to save any of these dice. Let's go ahead and throw it all. And we got it with a 10, 16, 18, 19, 22, 24. And Skaven will throw all of their dice at it. And they got it, look at that, Irresistible Dispel. So that does not go off. That brings us to the end of the magic phase. Not very exciting. But that's how it goes sometimes. Let's go ahead and move over to the shooting phase. All right, let's start us out with having this Hellblaster right here pivot a little bit, and we're going to have him fire right over here into that Doomwheel. Let's go ahead and get the shots. We've got 4 plus 8, that's 12, plus another 4. That's 16 shots now, long range, hitting on 5s. And wounding now on 5s. 2 armor saves of 6s, 2 wounds. And that will drop him down to 3 wounds now. Let's just keep going here with these guys. We're going to take 9 shots here. We're going to be hitting on wounding 4s. On 6s. And there's 2 more wounds. 4 plus save. 1 of them, so we're down to 2. And let's get these guys here also in here. 10 shots. 3 hits now, wounding on 6s. And there's 1 more. We have a 4 plus save. We got that. And for the final shooting for the Empire, let's go over here and have this cannon fire grape shot into those rat. All right, number of shots. We've got a measly 2 on 4s, wounding on 3s, and we got 2 wounds. So this guy is done, and this guy will be dropped down to 2 wounds. So that's the end of the shooting phase. Let's go over to close combat. The only one we have is this one right here, the main event. To begin now, let's have the General declare a challenge against the Grey Seer, and the Grey Seer will decline that, and nothing really happens because of Vermin's Valor. He just moves to the back. He can still use his leadership now. So now he has to attack something. Let's have him throw 3 attacks into the clan ranks. Hitting on 3s. Oh, nothing. 3 2s. This is just going terribly for the General. Let's see if the Pegasus can do any better. I don't think it causes fear. I need to check that, but... So I don't think there's any problem here with this, but 2 attacks here, hitting on 4s, 2 attacks that both hit. Wounding on 3s, 2 wounds, and no save, so 2 of these guys will come off. Coming back now, let's start here with the Rat Ogre. He gets to have 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, and nothing can. In addition, we have 3 Clan Rats in base contact with spears. So let's go ahead and roll that out. They're going to be hitting on 5s, there's 1, and a wound on a 5. And 1 stomp coming back from the Imperial Pegasus on a 3. Yes, so 1 more guy goes out. Alright, let's figure out combat resolution. We had a charge by the General. He caused 3 wounds total. In response, we have a banner by the Skaven, and they have a 3 rank bonus. So it's a tie, but they have a musician, so he ends up losing. Here we go, the moment of reckoning, leadership of 9, and he gets it just barely. Alright, that's the end of the combat and the end of the Empire turn, the Empire and Brettonia turn. So let's go over here now to Skaven, turn 3. Do we have any charges to declare? Well, let's start over here and go to this side, and we're going to declare a charge here into that cannon, and the cannon has to hold. In addition, let's go ahead and clog this up. Let's declare a charge with these guys onto them, and they will also hold. And finally, no, that's about it. That's where we'll stay. Those 2 charges. Let's go ahead and roll this one off. 10 inches, no problem. So we'll come here, boom, crash in, engage, and close the door like that. This one over here we cannot miss, so let's go ahead and move those guys into contact. And there's how that one's going to look. We actually got 3 guys into base contact when we maximize. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of our Doomwheels and our compulsory moves. Let's start over here with this one. I'm assuming that these guys are in combat, so they're not going to be susceptible to the terror. That will be plenty to get them in. We'll send it straight forward. It hits here and closes the door like that. If we run over here now, let's go ahead and send this Doomwheel. We will turn it ever so slightly so that it faces that Lord. And he will need to take a terror test. Let's roll this out first. 12 inches. Let's see if that's actually going to get him in. Yes, that will be enough to get him in, so we're going to have to go ahead and take a terror test here on a leadership of 9. No problem, he's going to stick around. Let's go ahead and slide him in. Alright, for remaining moves, let's just go up here and let's just send this block in a little bit closer, within 1 inch of its friend there. So that's the end of the movement phase for the Skaven. Let's go on to the magic phase. Winds of magic. Here we go. And a pretty high one. Do we get a channel for the Skaven? No. And we have 3 channels for the Imperial Man. Yes. So that will be a total of a 10 to a 7. To start us off now, let's go ahead and ring our bell. We will throw the maximum 3 dice at it, and that gives us a 9. Alright, that'll be Scorched, but we also rolled doubles here, so now we need to go ahead and roll for the Backlash of Magic, D6 Strength 4 hits. D6, 2 hits. Alright, here we go, wounding on 3s, and there's 1 guy. Let's take him off the back here. And let's go ahead and set our Scorch template. We'll put him on these guys right here. And we're going to hit 2, 4, 6, 8. Here we go now, wounding on 3s. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. So let's go ahead and take 4 off the back, that whole back. Alright, there we go. And that's going to cause a panic test. We've got the leadership from the general right there. So let's roll that out. No, on a 10. And they're too far away from their BSB over here to be able to re-roll that. So they're going to turn and flee. How far are they going to go? 11 inches. They're off. But they're going to run this direction away from that unit, causing panic tests on these 2 guys as well. Let's go ahead and move these guys off. They're going to flee off the table. Let's go ahead now for our mage. Ooh, this guy needs a 7. And he is good, and our other guy over here has a leadership of 9. So he is fine. Next thing we're going to do now, we've got 7 dice. Let's do Cloud of Corruption. We need an 11 plus. Let's go ahead and throw 2 dice at it for a 5, 6, 7, and we got it with an 11. Alliance of Man, they're going to throw 2 at it as well. They didn't get it with a 10, so that's going to go off. So the way this works now is we roll a dice for every unit within 12 inches, friend and foe. On a 5 plus for our clan rats and our other Skaven, they're affected. On a 2 plus, if it's an enemy model, they're affected, and the result then is D6 Strength 5 hits. We need to roll for them. We need to roll for him. We need to roll for him, them, and them. So everybody except for these guys over here. That's a pretty powerful spell here. So let's go ahead and roll off first for our own Skaven. Here we go, 5 plus, and they're fine. Run over here, 5 plus, and he is fine. And finally over here, 5 plus. No, they are going to take D6 5 Let's hits. Roll for enemy units now on a 2 plus. Yes, and he takes how many hits? 6 hits. Over here to these 3, starting with this guy on the left, and he takes 2 hits. Guy in the middle, no, he gets out of it. This guy on the edge, yeah, and he takes how many hits? 4 hits. Let's go over here to our Hellblaster Volley Cannon. 2+, yeah, and he takes how many hits? 4 hits. Unit of archers, let's do them here. And they take how many hits? 2 hits. Back to our lord here, 2+. No, he gets out of it. Halberders, and they get out of it as well. Knock him over. And that should be it. Yeah, that's it for the guys. So let's go ahead now and roll these out one at a time to see the results of that. Starting with the Lord here, we've got 2 hits on 3s. There's 1 wound, and we have a up to a 4+ save. So no, he's going to be dropped down to a total of 2 wounds if I can find it. There you go. We're here now, 4 on 3s, and we got 1, 2, 3, and there are no saves for that. That's too many wounds, so he's going to take off. Creating, let's see, panic test. We need a panic test here for all these guys within the range there. All right, this guy's in combat, so he's fine, but let's do this guy on a 7. He is fine. Let's run over here to our Hellblaster on a 7. He's also fine. Our Lord here on a 9, and he is just fine. And finally, these guys on a 5. No, they're going to take off running a total of 5 inches directly away from the nearest enemy. So in this direction, so that's where they'll end up. We still have to do their wounds as well. But let's jump over here to the Hellblaster. 4, we're rolling on 6s. Nothing happens there. All right, let's jump over to these guys. We've got 2 attacks on. All right, here we go on 2s. Yep, 2 more guys. They are already fleeing, so they will stay where they are. Last of all, let's run over here to our general. He's taking 6. All right, here we go. 6 attacks, 6 wounds on 3s. There's 1, 2, 3, and we have 6+ because of the strength. Saves 1, and we have a 5+ ward. Let me see. 6+ ward, excuse me. So he takes 2 wounds, bringing him down to a single wound. So there we go. And the last one, let's run over here. We've got 5. Let's allocate these. On a 5 or 6, they hit the Packmasters. 4 on the Rats, 1 on the Packmaster. And Packmaster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be on this guy here, and that's a 2. That's enough for him. These guys right here. 4 of them on 2s. Yeah, we're going to lose 4 guys there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're still going with the magic phase. Let's do Pestilent Breath, casting on a 5+. Let's throw 1 die at it. Yeah, we get it with a 9. Empire's going to throw 2. Yeah, and they dispelled it. No problem with a 12. All right, final spell here, Curse of the Horned Rat. I'm not sure exactly about the rules with this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we can use this on units in combat. We do have a line of sight here, so we can use it on this unit. Let's go ahead and throw our remaining 4 dice at it. We need a 25. We need to roll high here. 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, so we didn't get it. Doesn't matter, Empire. So that doesn't go off, otherwise that could have been disastrous there. But that brings us to the end of the magic phase. Let's go ahead and do some shooting. First off, let's go ahead and take our cannon over here, and we will shoot over here. We do have line of sight over onto this war machine. Let's go 10 inches from the back, somewhere around here. First shot, 2 inches, overshooting, bouncing 2 more inches, so landing somewhere about here. Let's measure just to make sure. That cannonball will stick right there, so it won't hit them. Let's go ahead now with this guy over here, and he has a line of sight over here onto that lord. Let's go 10 inches from the back of his base, right around here. Overshooting 2 inches, bouncing 2 inches, same thing. That's going to stick in the mud as well. Nothing happening there. Let's go over to our Doomwheels now. We've got 3 charges of lightning here. We're going to let those go into this rolling off the strength of the bolts. And strength, first one now on a 3. Yeah, and they have a 2+ save. Got it. 3, no, and the third one, yes, 2+ save. They roll a 1. No, they're fine. Let's head over here now. We've got this second one right here, and he will be shooting in strength of these 3 bolts is going to be 6. All right, winning on 2s with a 5+ save. There it is, 5+ save. There's 1, fine. Next one, 2s, 5+ save. He saves that one as well. Next one on a 2, 5+ save. No, so he will go down to 2 wounds. So that was actually okay for him. I thought he for sure was going to be gone. All right, that's the end of the shooting phase. Let's run over to combat. And we can run over first of all to our combat over here with our great cannon and our giant ogres. Normally now you can have 6 guys attack a war machine, but because these are monstrous infantry, they count as 3 models each. So we have 2 guys, each of them with 3 attacks with their frenzied, so 4 attacks each. Let's roll out 8 attacks. We're going to be hitting on 4s, and there are, there's 4 good ones. Wounding on 6s because of strength. 7, and there is a single wound, dropping that one down to 3 attacks. Coming back, 5s and 6s, so there's nothing there. Combat resolution, we had a charge, and we had a 1 wound on them, which means their leadership is dropped down to 5, and they are fine. And let's run back over here now to this main event. No challenges, so let's just go ahead and fight this one out. Senior and General have the same initiatives. Let's just start here with the General. 3 attacks on the clan rats, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. There are 2 of them taken off. Greater Seer coming back, hitting on a 4. No. There's now 2 attacks on the clan rats. 4s, there's 1. 5, no. Rat Ogre, 3 attacks on 4s. There you go, and 3s. Yes, and saves now. We have up to a 5. Oh, we got them both. Amazing. And finally, these 3 clan rats here. We need 4s. And wow, 6s, nothing. Combat resolution now. Let's see, we did 2 wounds from the General. But we have a banner in the Skaven, and we have 1, 2, 3 rank bonus, so they're going to win combat, dropping him down to 7. Because this is such an important role, I want to make sure that we are within the range of our BSB, and we are just outside the range of our BSB, so that means we do not get a reroll. This is going to be the decisive roll here. Here we go now on a 7, and double 1s, he's sticking around. Alright, 2 combats left. Let's swing over here and do this first one with the Doomwheel. First off, D6 plus 1 impact hits, so we've got 5. Here we go now, on 2s. And 1, 2, 3. That's going to be enough to take him off the board. Let's roll a panic test for this guy. On a 7. No! He gets it with an 11. He's going to take off running. And with Swift Stride, that's going to take him 11 inches. He's going to go off the board. Panic test also for the War Machine here. Also on a 7. No, he has a 9, so he cannot shoot this turn or the next. So that's how that combat ends. Those Doomwheels are just incredibly powerful. Let's run over here, and this is our final combat for the Skaven. First off, Doomwheel, D6 plus 1, 5 impact. Winning on 2s. And we got all 5. Strength 6 impact attacks brings us from a 1+ to a 4+ save. And look at that, they got a 4, so they still suffer 1 wound off the back. So actually higher initiative on both of these. So we're going to start here with these guys. We have 2d6 random attacks. So a total of 6. On 4s, nothing. Giant rats now. 10 of them on 4s. And wounding on 5s. And there are 2. Failing their saves on a 1. We failed once. There's another guy off the back. Let's have all of our knights first attacking. We have a preceptor, so he has an extra attack. So we got 8 attacks here on 3s. Oof, not good. And on 3s, oof, really horrible. 1 guy. 7 horses on 3s and 4s. A little bit better. The horses always seem to do better. 4s. There's 2 more. Next are Battle Wizard and the Horse. Same weapon skills, same strength. So 4s and 4s. There's 1 more. And now the Paladin, I'm realizing here he had a higher initiative than those, so he should have gone first, but it doesn't really matter here. He's going to have 3 attacks now on 3s. Ooh, maybe the horse can do better. 4s and a 4. No. Alright, combat resolution. Let's start out with the Skaven here. They did 2 wounds, and they had a charge on the flank. And they have 1, 2, 3 full ranks. They have no banners or anything there. Coming back, the Empire has done 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds, and they have a banner and another banner, and they also have no, they don't have a full rank anymore. So it's going to be a tied combat, but we have a musician here, so they are going to lose. And I'm almost forgetting here. We forgot the fear test. Let's go ahead and roll it now. They got that, no problem. All right, these guys are going to be fleeing how far? A total of 7 inches. Their final position. These guys are immune to psychology, so they're going to stick around. After winning that combat, these guys will go ahead and reform. bringing them like this into center-to-center combat with that Doomwheel. We should just mention as well, these guys moved an extra inch because they have the scurry away. Alright, that's the end of Skaven turn 3. That's the bottom of turn 3. And I think it's pretty safe now to call the game for a Skaven victory. If we look what we have on the table here, we've got this Doomwheel and it's about ready to crash into that Lord. This Hellblaster volley cannon cannot fire. These guys are fleeing. They will soon be off the table. Our unit of halberders is next to nothing. These guys are facing a Doomwheel and they're probably going to get eaten alive. This cannon has no chance against all of those ogres. We have this one unit fleeing here, but our general is down to 1 wound and he is facing down this whole block of clan rats and the Grey Seer and the Rat Ogre with his entire block of slaves and the chieftain right behind him. Not to mention we have 1 cannon over there and 1 cannon over there. So it was pretty much a massacre of the Empire and the Brettonia, our alliance of man. Skaven came out of the underground and overrun the border territory, taking the victory. So congratulations, Skaven, on a powerful, powerful game. Well, there you have it, folks. 2,000 points of the Alliance of Man versus 2,000 points of the Skaven. Always exciting to play battle reports with the Skaven. There's so many things that happen, so dynamic, and really exciting to try out this mixed army. We'll have to try that again in the future and try a few different variations of mixing Brettonia and Empire. Well, thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming to watch this battle report. But even more exciting than that is you have the opportunity to join us here in Lund. If you would like to throw down dice with Grey Army Gaming at Playoteket, our local gaming store, please do contact us, greyarmygaming@gmail.com, and we can set up a time and a date, figure out which army you want to use, whether your own or a studio army, and you can come in and throw down dice with us and be a part of the Wars of the Old World series. Well, thank you once again for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming and the Fantasy Consortium for the future of fantasy.